I cautiously entered the sprawling shopping mall, the fluorescent lights overhead casting eerie shadows on the hordes of shoppers. It was Black Friday, a day infamous for its chaos and consumer madness. I had foolishly decided to brave the crowds in search of a discounted TV. As I weaved through the labyrinthine aisles, the sense of foreboding grew with every step. People moved like zombies, their eyes fixed on sale signs, their faces devoid of emotion. It was as if consumerism had stripped them of their humanity. The store was a battlefield. Shelves were ransacked, and merchandise lay scattered like casualties. Shoppers argued and pushed, their voices rising in a discordant symphony of greed. I tried to keep my composure, reminding myself that I needed the TV. In the electronics section, I finally found the TV I wanted, nestled between two towering stacks of other flat screens. I grabbed it and clutched it to my chest, like a lifeline in this sea of madness. But as I turned to make my escape, I froze. A figure stood at the end of the aisle, obscured by the flickering fluorescent lights. It was a man, or at least it had once been. His face was pallid, his eyes empty voids. He wore a tattered suit, and his fingers ended in long, gnarled claws. He was holding a shopping cart, but it was filled not with merchandise, but with human limbs. I gasped, and the sound seemed to awaken him from his trance. He turned his hollow gaze towards me, and a malicious grin spread across his face. My heart pounded in my chest as I backed away, clutching the TV tighter. I had to get out of here. I stumbled through the chaos, the man with the cart following me, his laughter echoing in my ears. The mall itself seemed to conspire against me, its layout shifting and changing, leading me deeper into its heart. I was trapped in a maze of consumerism, pursued by a creature born of greed. As I turned another corner, I found myself in a different world altogether. The mall had transformed into a nightmarish realm. The walls were adorned with grotesque paintings of shoppers devouring each other, and the floor was slick with a viscous, black liquid. The man with the cart was gone, but I was not alone. Monstrous creatures roamed the aisles, their bodies twisted and distorted, their eyes hungry for something more than merchandise. They reached out to me with twisted limbs, their voices a cacophony of despair and longing. I ran, driven by a primal fear I had never known before. Finally, I reached the mall's exit, but it offered no escape. Instead, it led to a cavernous abyss. I stood on the precipice, staring into the darkness below. I had a choice to make: face the horrors of the mall or leap into the unknown. In that moment, I heard a voice behind me. It was soft, almost a whisper, but it cut through the chaos like a knife. "Give me the TV," it said. I turned to see a woman standing there, her eyes filled with a terrible hunger. She extended her hand towards me, and I knew that she was not asking. She was demanding. I hesitated for only a second before I let go of the TV, watching it tumble into the abyss. The woman snatched it out of the air and disappeared into the darkness. With a sense of dread, I turned and faced the horrors of the mall once more. But this time, they seemed to lose interest in me. They had what they wanted: the TV, the symbol of consumerism. I made my way back through the shifting aisles, the madness gradually receding. As I stepped out of the mall, I looked back one last time, knowing that I had narrowly escaped a fate worse than death. Black Friday had become a nightmare, a day when the hunger for material possessions had unleashed unspeakable horrors. And as I walked away from that accursed place, I couldn't help but wonder if the real monsters were not the creatures in the mall, but the shoppers themselves, driven to madness by their insatiable desires.